Hey folks, I'm on the water today with my buddy Dave Inscore, and we're going after some Tidal largemouth and hopefully some snakehead. So I know Dave's been pretty hardcore on the snakehead in recent years. You want to kind of give us an overview of maybe what lures you're using and what tactics you like for the Tidal snakehead?
So vibration. Chatterbait, some Topwater, a fluke to throw into some deep cover.
Yeah.
And you'll see the bead on the front end of that to keep the weeds at bay.
Who'd you learn that from?
That is Joe Bruce.
Yeah, he's a snakehead expert for sure.
All right. And then the fun new little Topwater. I forgot what this guy is called, but Mr. John Hostalka turned me on to this guy.
Cool. So it's got a little prop like a
prop bait,
like a whopper plopper, but a hollow body.
Yep.
Good. That's nice and soft. That should collapse real well.
Yep.
So nice.
All rigged up, ready to go.
Cool. Tell me about your boat here.
This is the Hobie PA12 with about everything on it except for an espresso machine.
Yeah.
So I've got it rigged with a bunch of wires going into a USB port, the USB battery pack where I can get like a bunch of GoPros going. It's got the remote right here where I can one button have 3 cameras recording on it.
Nice.
And then we got the micro anchor, we got the Lowrance with the side imaging, and then some fun Torpedo underneath there somewhere.
Yeah, you got the Evolve here, and your throttle there.
Right.
Nice.
And then lots of tackle webs and storage. So this is probably the most I've ever taken on one trip, but I'm fishing with Jeff Little, so I gotta have my stuff, and I gotta look like I know what I'm doing. So
I already know you know what you're doing.
Good times.
You want to tell folks about your videography?
Videography, yeah, you can follow my stuff at YakVids. So you can catch me on Facebook/whatever YakVids, and then also YakVids.com. I love filming, editing. Really, I'll go back and watch my videos of years past, and it takes me right back there. That's what I love most about it, is you can just go right back to a trip and enjoy it just like you were there. So
I got something that's a little bit different than what what Dave was showing, and this is a Z-Man Elastec soft plastic frog on a grip pin hook, and I do have that little bead trick that he was talking about that really just helps it deflect off of the stalks of of some of this vegetation that we're dealing with right here. So I'm gonna check my drag. Yeah, because that Elastec is what it is. It floats real well. So nice type Topwater. They got a smaller version of this too. So, but I'm trying this bigger one to start out with. And the rod I'm using is a St. Croix Legend Tournament Series Power Spin. It's a medium heavy, which is somewhat rare in a spinning rod. The reason I like it is because we're going to need to be able to horse these fish out of some pretty brushy type areas and a lot of vegetation. But I like the spinning rod because it can cast and skip underneath, and right now I'm just skipping it up underneath the dock that we next to where I launched, but I'll be skipping it back into a lot of this vegetation as we go, and the spinning rod does that well. Legend Tournament Power Spin, 7'1" medium heavy power. We'll throw 3/8 to 3/4 ounce. Good rod. Dave is hooked up, and that fish is deep in that mess. You just gonna dig them out? What were you throwing?
Swim bait.
We missed a couple real violent head shakes and
oh, it's a beautiful one.
Nice, man. Nice job, man.
Woo! Beautiful.
They're such a cool animal.
I'm gonna get some video of me measuring him here for my sticker stuff.
All right. Show me the bait you got.
Right here.
Yeah.
Little Z-Man paddle tail. It's got the little ribs in it, I think, for the extra action.
What's the hook you got it on?
One of the Z-Man hooks.
Yeah.
Little keeper with the bead.
Here, lay it flat on your hand so we can see it. Nice. Okay, that's the swimmers.
Yep.
And you get the bead out front.
Bead out front to keep the grass down.
Nice. It just deflects off these stalks here. And we got what? We got a mix of both spatter dock, and there's some pads in here. Some regular flat pads that are a little bit easier to come through.
Right.
So, any secret on the hookup percentage? I know that's a big concern because I mean I've had a blow up this morning. I missed one.
You know, it's when you hear the hit, and with these they're chasing it on top. When you hear the hit, you got to count one before you do anything, and then I tend to just watch the line, like real a little slow, watch that line, and then come back with the hook set. But if you try to set the hook too soon on any of these snakehead, it's game over. You know,
now, if you keep reeling, you say you missed a blow up, and you have the nerves to to not set the hook, and you just keep reeling.
I like to say I have the nerve not to set the hook. I mean, it's really tough. I think I missed one or two over there where I got a little bit too excited and pulled it away from them. With this one, after having one just chase on the edge of the lily pads right here, I really did just kind of say, all right, don't do anything. A good solid one count, reel the line up a little bit, see if there's movement. And there was movement, and I set the hook.
Nice. Well, it seems like they're picking up, and that we're seeing more activity.
Right.
I actually had one come. You know, he swam right up. I could see his reverse wake coming up towards the boat, and he was like right next to me. He came right up to me, and it wasn't until I moved a little bit that he spooked and turned. But he was very intently checking me out, which is kind of cool. So they're curious animals. Tell me what you're doing right there.
Getting a measurement, nose to tail, so I can mark off my my sneck sticker. I keep track of all my catches throughout the season. So that one, I didn't even look at the measurement. I was filming. This guy goes 18.25, and so I got that on film. And then when I go back, I will mark my 18.25 right here on my sneck sticker, and I got another one I've got to mark too. So this is my third snakehead of the year.
Nice.
And that one, and I get to check off the swim bait on that one too. The previous two were on chatterbaits.
Cool. Looks like Dave is hooked up. I hear him yelling. I kind of went upstream a little ways. Let's see if he's still got that fish on. I'm hoping. He was hollering. Yeah, he looks like he's involved. What you got, man?
A snake.
Ooh! I can see its head.
I'm gonna try to get this thing in.
What did he hit?
Got it. God, they just.
Oh! Got it. How big was he, you think?
He was big. There's 2 garden to fry ball right here. And
Wow.
I saw the back come up out of the water, and I've been throwing and throwing and throwing, and finally, you know, you just get that wake coming behind you, and you're just like, there he is.
Nice.
So,
Nice catch, man.
I didn't get a measurement on that. They are such Houdinis.
It's pretty common for them to get away from you like that. The biggest one that I ever caught, I never got a measurement on because he did that.
I'm gonna say he was about 38 inches, probably 22 pounds.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you know, just by, you know, experience, probably a world record, you know.
Yeah.
God.
It's a nice
Oh my
fish.
God, that gets the heart pumping. That's good
Nice
stuff.
job, man. Yep, I got one on. Just throwing a swim bait. I don't think he knows. I'm gonna loosen up. He's big. Oh yeah. He doesn't see me yet. I'm gonna get him away. I'm taking the motor and I'm getting him out away from the shore. And hopefully there's no obstruction that. Okay, taking a dog for a walk. He doesn't know what's up yet. He has not seen me, but he's gonna go crazy when he figures out what's going on. He was just on that grass back there, and I was just taking a swim bait and swimming it out. And he crushed it. He's not seen me yet. Oh, yeah, that's big on the day for sure. And things are about to get ugly. I just gotta get the net under him. That's a good one. Good snakehead. Yep, just swimming the swim bait out from the grass. Oh, look at that. Ooh, big one. They can't act really peacefully for a brief period of time, and then they go crazy. And that's why I do not like to use treble hooks to fish for them. Yep. Ooh, I'm glad I got you, because that swim bait is out of your mouth. He's being pretty chill right now. What's funny is we went through a big area where there was no grass at all, and then this was the first piece of grass that we came upon, that we found. All right, you're gonna just chill, and I'm gonna try and get my swim bait back out of here. But yeah, it was a very distinct crunch. And this hook is bent, which is not at all uncommon. But that's it. Z-Man swimmers with a grip pin hook, 16th ounce tungsten bullet weight, and that hook is mangled, which is not at all uncommon for these big snakehead. Yep. All right, let me move things out of your way. Oh, he's a nice one. Slimy beast. Okay, you can do your thing. But yeah, they like the grass. It's just where they want to be, just like the bass. Bass like grass, so does snakehead. All right, I got ahead of Dave. I'm gonna have to bring this back. We're gonna get some pictures and then do a release. But all right, Dave caught up, and I'm gonna use his measuring board here. It's pretty cool. he actually tossed it to me and this thing floats. That's very cool. So I guess what, these lock it into place? Is that right?
Right.
So I have to slide that forward. And we'll see what we got here. We got a good one. Maybe I go like this. I'll be happier.
Gotta get that tail. Yeah, dude.
All right, it's on the bump board, so we got 31 3/4. Right? Yeah, solidly 31 3/4. So it's a good fish. Thank you. All right, you are not dinner. You are going back to where you came from.
Push off.
Anybody? Actually, you wanted to get a picture.
We'll get another one. It's fine.
In case anybody's concerned that this is illegal, the law is that you can release them, but if you're going to keep them, you can't keep them alive. So I'm not keeping this one. I'm going to let her do her thing, and she just drifted off into the muck. That was fun. Let's get another one, Dave. 31 3/4.
30. How big was it again?
31 3/4, and I put it on the Boca, and it was right at 10. Just held it up. I got the big Boca and 10 pounds. So to think, world record is what, 19 and change.
Right.
I know the one I got in Mattawoman was much heavier and bigger than that fish, but that was a nice fish. Before we get back into fishing, I'm going to show you. This is the Z-Man Swimmers, and I think it's a 4/0 hook. It is a grip pin hook. I'm going to slide this is a tungsten bullet weight, and I have it pegged, but you can see I've caught so much on this rig this year. I've caught a nice big redfish, I've caught a northern pike, I've caught certainly some smallmouth, but that grip pin keeps it in place, and that's the snell knot that I will forever be indebted to Kurt Smits for teaching me. I hear him jumping behind us. That he won the KBF National Championship with another Z-Man soft plastic, but I just tuck that in there, and I was swimming that out from some reeds down there, just kind of paralleling the bank. I think it's a 16th ounce tungsten, and I have it pegged. Got parallel with the shore and just started casting it out in front of the reeds. Felt it crunch it and set the hook. I was actually thinking, oh, cool, we're finally going to get into some bass. It felt like a bass hit, and I leaned on it and I saw how it was moving. Like, no, I haven't turned that fish. That's a snakehead. Eventually came up to the surface so I could see that real pretty snake pattern on it. So. Looks like Dave has him dialed in. Hold it up!
Everybody's gonna jump out.
I had one good blow up over there. Like a fish that moved a lot of water.
Yeah.
Like he blew up on it, and I never really felt him, but I went over him later, and he was big.
Somebody's gonna need to have been a tool that can latch onto these things.
I've had him twist out of Boca grips.
Yeah.
I've had him break those plastic fish grips. Like, just snap it like it was nothing. They're amazingly powerful fish. I will say for their size, but they get pretty big too.
Just Houdinis.
It's hard to get them to open their mouth, right?
Yeah. All right, I think we got that one.
You got him.
All right.
You got them figured out, man.
Just gotta stay out of the trees here.
Getting regular bites. Woo. Like meaningful ones. How deep was he when he hit?
He was maybe 8 foot off the bank here. I think he was in shallow and following it out a little bit.
Yeah.
This is gonna be the one I keep for today. He went, what did I say? 22. This is just the right size for my wood smoker. What I'll do is butterfly it open, put it on 225 degrees over some wood pellets, and let it go until it hits just the right temperature, and then it goes in fish tacos. I had a 30 plus inch fish earlier that was guarding fry, got it in the kayak. That one I would have let go had it not done the Houdini escape anyway, because I just like seeing the ones guarding the fry be kind of left alone and left to go back to guard them. But this size, I don't mind taking this home to, my wife doesn't even like fish, and she says this is the best thing she's ever had. So.
I missed another one just a moment ago, and I set the hook on it, and it was up in the roof of the mouth. I know that because it opened its mouth and shook its head, and I pulled too hard. I didn't have a whole lot of hook in the fish, and it was another big fish. But one thing that I think is nice about snakehead, and it was something that Dave pointed out on the drive down here early this morning, is that you don't, it's not like bass fishing in the summer where you have to go early and late to really have any sort of good action. The snakehead, they're gonna eat even in the hottest part of the day, like what we're in right now. So that makes them a good summertime fish to target for sure. The 16th ounce bullet weight is nice because it's not so much weight that it's always down, below the surface. You can retrieve it, and it, at a pretty good pace, and it pretty much maintains, a topwater presentation. But if you slow it down a little bit, it's just below the surface where a lot of fish feel very comfortable picking off a minnow. All right, some strange behavior. I don't know whether it's a snakehead. There's one right in here, or whether they're carp, but they're sort of nosing at the surface. There's one doing it. Man, the wind's just blowing me right into them, unfortunately. Yep, right there. There's 5 or 6 of them out here doing it. And got blown into these fish.
It's too easy.
So we're at our last spot for the day, and I know that we're going to be basically working these pads the rest of the day. And one thing I'm going to do with this bait to make it come through the pads a little bit easier than how I was fishing it is I'm going to take it off of that normal, sort of skinny upright up and down orientation. I'm going to take it off and I'm going to rig it sideways. And that's just going to make it come through the pads and the stems of each of these stalks a little bit better. A lot like that frog did, although I'm liking the swim bait a little bit more than the frog. I think that the snakehead tend to, I don't know, I think they're just a little bit more adept at eating these minnows right below the surface than they are the frog right at the surface. So in any case, I've turned this sideways, and that's just going to make for a nice, I'm going to keep a nice hookup percentage, but I'm also going to be able to come, through these pads a little bit better with that orientation as opposed to, the way that I had it before when I was just swimming it through a little bit more open water. just missed one. Good one. It's just part of snakehead fishing, but it gets you. But it got me thinking, let me switch over to the rod that I was using the frog on. It's a little more sturdy. It's that St. Croix power spin. Because I leaned back on that fish and I should have got it, but I think whatever drag setting I had was, I guess, not enough. I mean, I didn't want it. I didn't want to break it, break a fish off, and I'm really getting into much heavier current. So I just took that same swim bait and I switched it over to this rod that has a little bit heavier hook. That shouldn't bend like the other one did with that big fish. But I'm trying it with just the bead, no weight. Now with the Elastec soft plastic, I can pause that and yeah, it's floating. It floats at even that big hook. So sort of like frog fishing with a floating minnow. Oh, guy. Oh, but don't underestimate them. Cool. Yep. Let me get the pliers on him. Let him go. I'm just, when you get so many blow-ups, you're just happy when one of them hits it in a meaningful way and connects and they're just on. All right, pliers. Bye-bye. Not quite yet. Man, they're explosive fish. I'm gonna let you go. I promise. I'm glad I jumped up to a heavier hook. There you go.